Okay, so I am Gianfranco Sorrentino. I am the managing partner of Il Pardo Group, and I am also the president of Gruppo Italiano, a not-for-profit organization that promotes the Italian culinary culture, Italian product, artisanal product, and producers here in the United States. I took some notes today, and unfortunately I started to change this morning. The COVID-19 has killed more than 240,000 innocent people. And also in our industry has been the hospitality industry greatest challenge to date. More than a third of the restaurants has closed for good, and another third will close before the end of the year. Also, we restaurateurs are trying to understand what will be the restaurant model of the next normal. And the hopes for a quick recovery are much in question, and they are fading. But also, we have to talk about wine business that has been affected as much as the restaurant business. I want to remind that some of the many problems facing the wine and liquor industry, a tariff that was imposed at the beginning of the year, and probably it's going to be imposed again before the end of the year. The coronavirus has closed so many restaurants for 5 months, all the restaurants, so the business on the premise was put on hold. But anyway, the interesting thing is that the consumer of wine and liquors, the retail sales jumped up 57% over the last few months comparing to last year. Of course, the brands with a very recognized name are doing great, see in the retail than online sales. And we don't want to forget the small, unknown small Italian artisanal producers that they were promoted and sold by those small boutique importer distributors that they are suffering very much. So what this means for the Italian wines? Let me say that after the American wines, the Italian wines are sold for $1 billion a year, comparing to the 41.8 of the American wines. We are second, much ahead of Australia, which is number 2 with 720 million, and New Zealand with 496 million. Fourth is the France with $462 million. So, despite and throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, the Gruppo Italiano has been very active in its effort to promote the Italian culinary culture and the Italian products and producers here in the United States. Unfortunately, like so many areas in the US, also in Italy, there is we're struggling with the research of a second wave of the pandemic. So many events which they have already been programmed and scheduled with the Italian organization have been cancelled. However, Gruppo Italiano truly believes that now, more than ever, it is important to continue our effort to promote the quality, highlighted the nutrition value and the healthy property of our products. I know all of you agree with that. Gruppo Italiano during the pandemic has been very active, and proudly we promote with the Italian trade agency the Spirits of Italy Week and the World Pasta Day, where 15 Gruppo Italiano restaurants around the USA promote the best of Italy. We proudly promote the Milano Wine Week, the simple Italian great wines. We are in talks with Benvenuto Brunello and more. And today, despite that the Milano Wine Festival event has been canceled in Italy, Gruppo Italiano is eager to promote it here in the US. And we will connect via Zoom with the Merano and the organizer back in Italy. So we are alive. We are American, we are Italian, we are American-Italian. We are rebuilding New York hospitality industry here in the USA. And now I am very pleased to introduce two guests, a few remarks. We have the General Consul Francesco Genuardi, which he just sent me an email saying that he's stuck with an emergency phone call to Roma. As you know, the Italian government has been in emergency since Julius Caesar. So, but it's going to reach us during the event. And now let me introduce our Italian Trade Commissioner, Antonino Laspina, that has been a supporter of Gruppo Italiano, and we're doing lots of work together. Antonino, grazie.
Good morning and good afternoon to all of you. Thank you, Gianfranco, for inviting me and for giving me this opportunity to continue what I call a dialogue between the Italian institutions, the people of the wine trade in the United States, the journalists, the influencers, and the Italian winemakers. And I think this is a very important event because it gives us the opportunity to communicate something important to the people of the wine, and also to highlight some of the activities that we have been conducting during this period that started more or less at the end of March and up to now has seen Italian Trade Agency developing some form of collaboration with partners of different kind in order to try to satisfy the most important need for Italian winemakers, to keep alive the dialogue, I insist, between the Italian suppliers and the world of the wine in the United States. It is also a good opportunity to demonstrate how Italian organizations related to wine, like the Merano Wine Festival, are still active, and they are still trying to make easier for the Italian companies to get in touch, even with this new system of the digital system, with relevant people in the field of wine. It is important, I think, or would like to say better, indispensable, that at a time that we cannot count on the traditional physical activities, to be able to organize such kind of events. And Italian Trade Agency is organizing events that are going to be important at the time that we are going back into the new normal. I would like also to focus on some aspects of the business of the wine that you already introduced. At the end of 2019, the value of Italian wines exported to the United States reached 1.95 billion US dollars. Thus making Italy the second supplier just after France, that at that time was 2.15 billion. And at a great distance from the third supplier, that was New Zealand. Now, statistical data that we have recently elaborated is just very fresh, we could say very fresh from the oven. They tell us that for the period until September in the year 2020, Italian export has been more or less the same. We have a minus 0.7%, but we have registered a very interesting growth in one of the sectors that was the object of the promotion, of the joint promotion that we organized with Gruppo Italiano, related to the promotion of the spirits. As you know, the Italian spirits have been affected by the tariffs that have been imposed by the US government, and we are very satisfied that although the other sectors of wine, like red wines, white wines, they've been suffering a little bit due to the fact that the consumption has not been so satisfactory like last year, but nevertheless, the volume of the Italian export has been more or less the same of last year. And this has given Italy the possibility to get back to the #1 position in export of wine to the United States, because France has been suffering a very important drop in the export. So Italy is back first in the #1 position. This resilience, of course, is generated by the ability of the Italian people to provide the American market with the products, the right products for this transitional period. But I think also we have to give credit to the partners of the Italian people, of the Italian companies in the United States, to the big group of the traders, restaurateurs, of course, that have been pushing very strong on the Italian product in the market as soon as they had the chance to reopen the restaurants, to the traders, I said, to the journalists, the influencers, all the people of the wine that is connected to the Italian wine, they have been performing, I would say, quite well. So they've made possible for Italy to go back to the temporary, I would say, #1 position, but we are sure we are going to keep it for a long time. Why I'm so confident? I'm confident because we have been developing during this period of the pandemic a new form of collaboration. I just mentioned the collaboration that we organized with the Gruppo Italiano on the spirits, that it was a mix of physical and digital, what we call now phygital. But we have been able also to conduct some training courses at the nationwide level. Recently, we closed down one training course in Dallas, and we were able to provide the people in Dallas with the right quantity of wine for the tasting and for the course. And the lecturer and the people were giving the speeches and the lectures from this same position I'm occupying now. So the people were in Dallas, but we continued our training course with a lecturer that was in the office of the Italian trade agency here in Manhattan. This is going to be a model. We are going to continue, and the next month of December, we are going to have another session of the training about wine with decisions that have to be made, maybe in New York, maybe in Philadelphia. But what is sure is that we have found out a scheme, an operational scheme that is going to give us the chance to continue our operation. Of course, we are confident that we have to be confident that maybe next year, in the late spring, we are going to have the chance to go back to the physical. But also it's important that we have developed new schemes during this pandemic, and in the future, we are going to play with both tools, the digital one and the physical one. The trade agency have been very, very sensitive in the past about the wine sector. A lot of promotional programs have been dedicated to the wine as an Italian passion, Italian taste. Everything has been, promoted in terms of wine. What we feel is this one. We are confident that all the community that is interested in conducting the Italian business in the sector of wine will have more and more chances in the future to gather, not only on this occasion like the one organized by Gruppo Italiano, but I think we are going to give also an important role to the restaurants in the future. More and more the Italian restaurants, the Italian authentic restaurants in the States are becoming an important platform for the distribution and the consumption of wine. We are sure that a new form of partnership is going to be developed and confirmed for the future. I would like to stop here, and I would like to wish all of you to enjoy the Italian wine, to enjoy what Gianfranco has been able to organize, but I'm sure that we are going to meet again, and possibly with the new projects and new programs developed by the Italian Trade Agency in collaboration with all the people of the wine that are interested in the Italian wines. Thank you very much.
So now let me invite Helmuth. He is the founder of the Merano Wine Festival. Helmuth?
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to all. Good morning or good afternoon to New York. Here I am calling from Merano. We have the evening. We are evening now. And Merano, to give you an idea where it is on the border to Austria and to Switzerland in the northern part of Italy. And I organize since now 28 years. I invented it, the Merano Wine Festival. And Merano Wine Festival is something very special. It's elegant, elitary. Merano is a small town. And each year I make my own selection with tasting commissions. And we have this year we had about more than 7,000 different kind of wines we tasted. And then we evaluated the wines, and the wine must have a minimum of 90 points from 100. Then the wine will receive the WineHunter Award red. You see it on my back side. Or when the wine has more than 93 points from 100, it will receive the Gold Award, and more than 95 points, the Platinum Award. And therefore, for me, it's important to have only the best of the best. And this is what I do now since 28 years, to present each year in Merano the best of the best wines that what really represent Italy inside and outside. And this year, 29th edition, is the first time that we have a lockdown here in Italy. We are a red zone in Südtirol Alto Adige. It's the place where we organize it. And therefore, before we talked about it, this digital event or phygital event, in my imagine it is a digital event, I discovered it, and therefore it's the first time that I organize a digital event. It means the WineHunter Hub. Inside of the WineHunter Hub, each wine which was evaluated with more than 90 points is presented, and this is the WineHunter award, all the group what's inside, all together with also Niccolo Lorimer from Noble Harvest. We organized together a promotion in America only to have the best wines from our country. And on this, when you have time, look at the winehunterhub.com. Go in and you will see there are inside all the wines. In total, from 7,000 wines, there are more than 50% inside, more than 3,500 different kinds of wines. And then there are many events, so presentations. It means round tables. We have a round table with Bordeaux, we have a round table with Georgia, but there are also tastings with many areas in Italy. So from Sicily or from the northern part, from Piedmont, from Veneto. So it's important now to go inside of an event with a digital platform. And this is what we do with the Merano, but the Merano Wine Festival will be held next year from 26th to 30th of March. Until this period, from now to the 30th of March, you can follow all the wineries and all our events on this platform. And this platform will introduce in all the US to be the reference for the high quality of Italian wines. And when I talk about high quality, that's all the areas from Italy. It means the small areas, wines in areas like Apulia or Calabria and Valle Aosta, they are not so known, or Molise, then wines of Tuscany, Piedmont, Sicily, Sardinia, all the regions of Italy, we have a representation only of the best. And therefore, I hope you can follow us and good with the cooperation with Niccolo Lorimer, we are able to promote those wines in all the US. So this is my message, and I hope you will enjoy it. And I say hello from Merano, I say hello from Italy, and hello from all the wineries which are part of the Merano Wine Festival and the WineHunter Award. Thank you. Grazie.
Helmuth, do you have any other guests over there?
Please.
Do you have any other guests in your video?
No, actually not. I'm alone here in my office.
Oh, let me say I love your Sicilian accent.
Oh, fine. But I'm Alto Atesino. I'm from South Tyrol. I'm more German.
And okay, so the last remarks I would like to invite Niccolo. Niccolo, please.
Hello, Helmuth.
Ciao, Niccolo.
Ciao. So we are here to celebrate Merano, of course. Everybody was hoping for a great tasting. Unfortunately, we have a few wines that were in the house. They are Merano selections. They won awards throughout the years. But the reason we organized this was to remind everybody, of course, we are in a difficult moment, and yet there are some answers, there are some solutions, there's ways in which we're going to make it. We all talk about digital tasting, and that sounds absolutely moronic. It's how do you do that? We have to taste the wine. So I work with the Chamber of Commerce of Houston. We have had a tasting recently. It was called, for the Italian producers. But we ended up having to send a bottle, 2 bottles, 10 bottles to every single person who wanted to taste. That's expensive. That's prohibitive. Producers can't do that. What we can do, however, is we can take get the help of the Gruppo Italiano get the restaurants who are enthusiastic about doing something, trying to go, I mean, even just outside in the cafe, set up a small tasting, have smaller, again, smaller events, maybe 10 wineries, maybe 30 people, maybe 15 people, and go ahead and throughout next year, start having 1, 2, 3 tastings a month with the Gruppo Italiano and the Merano Wine Hunter. Wine Hunter, because of course these wines have been hunted down and selected, thousands and thousands were reviewed, and eventually now we can have an opportunity to taste them in the United States. A lot of these wines are not imported. A lot of these wines are just trying to figure out what's going to be the next step. So again, the support of Merano selection, the support of Gruppo Italiano. We as well have some platforms that are going to support us. Grape-In is one of those platforms that allows to have the technical sheets and everything else that is needed to make an informed decision. And so without boring you anymore, I just wanted to thank some of our producers who have brought the wines here. That goes from Vignaioli Piemontesi, there is Borgo La Caccia, Cinciano, Amastuola, Torre San Martino. These are all contributor to this get together, and hopefully you get a chance to try, enjoy, and realize that the diversity of Italian products in food and wine is such that you can literally be tasting a wine that is excelling in value, and one that's in fact excelling in cost. So we'll have to see what we can do, but I think that Gianfranco has been very kind and opened up the Gruppo to allow us to move forward. So thank you. Ciao Helmuth. Saluti.
Thank you all. Thank you.
The last Gruppo Italiano is organizing another webinar on December 7th. The title is Food, Faith and Religion. Thank you very much. Ciao Nino. Ciao.